In exercise 4.1 we are asked to describe in short the advantages and disadvantages of making ongoing activity-based cost calculations. So let's just take it step by step. The advantages first. So just to sum up, the advantages of activity-based costing is that it allocates the indirect costs across different products or customers according to the use of cost drivers, and in that way it presents a more correct and precise description of the cost involved with each product slash customer. And we could also write here compared to standard costing. Now, what could be the disadvantages of activity-based costing? Well, if done correctly, it should be superior to standard costing, but activity-based costing is very difficult to actually execute in a business. So we could write the disadvantages are, and we should have written are up here as well, that it is very difficult at least in some cases to identify the cost drivers and also the use of cost drivers. Perhaps you decide that it may be very difficult. And the use of cost drivers by each product slash customer. So if ABC calculations are not done correctly, they are likely to present a distorted picture of the true costs involved with an activity. So that's an okay explanation of that question. Now the next is just a little short exercise where we should determine whether these different costs are either fixed or variable. First one, depreciation on copper kettles. Well, depreciation will almost always be a fixed cost. We write F. Salaries for a CFO, well, that's a salary that is not directly involved with the production of any one product. So no matter how much we produce, we will still have the same salary for the CFO. And that's of course what we have to look for. These costs, are they costs that will increase if we produce one extra unit, or will they be the same? Insurance cost for the sales vehicle. Well, if we produce one extra unit, well, the insurance costs will be the same, so it's fixed also. Next, we should determine whether the use of spices for a production series is a variable cost or a fixed cost. That will be a variable cost because that's actually what we could call raw materials. If we produce more, we need more spices. The next, paper use for invoices and letters. In this case, I would say fixed cost, because even though we produce a little bit more, it would be very doubtful whether we would use more paper because of that. So even though we double production, I'm not sure that we will use more letters. We would probably for invoices, but not for letters in general. So I would still call that a fixed cost. But this can actually be debated. It's not completely given, but it would be a good idea to call that a fixed cost. The next, marketing cost for a 16-second local TV spot. That's a fixed cost as well. And in terms of this question about paper use, well, usually if it's only for invoices, then we could say that would probably be a variable cost. But if it's for letters in general, there's no way of knowing whether it would be a variable cost. So let's just say that it is fixed. And that's basically it. That's the last exercise in this exam paper. So I hope that you have enjoyed the ride, so to speak. This table, if we should be very pedantic, we could just copy it, paste it down here, and for the sake of consistency, paint it all red like that. So bye bye, and good luck at the exam on Tuesday.